Hi, welcome to the Scalar 3.2 What's New video. I'm really excited to show you a whole bunch of new features and refinements that makes using Scalar 3 much easier, more intuitive and more fun. I'd like to take a moment just to thank all the people that have worked really hard on making the updates that we've released over the past 9 months, and mostly thank you to you, our community, for supporting us. We're really excited to share a bunch of new features, so let's dive in right now. So the first thing that you're going to notice is there's a new welcome screen, which is really nice because you can launch the tutorial straight from the welcome screen. I encourage you to look through the updated tutorial tooltips and manual. They're very helpful in getting to understand the new features. Due to popular demand, we've actually integrated a scale search feature right into the current scale name. So you can just click in and start typing a scale and it'll pop up. You just click your scale and choose it, and it's nice and easy to use. One of the other things we've done is we've introduced a navigation menu for the voicings right here in the section B. So you can actually go from triads straight to sevenths, start looking through different extensions, and you can just even click on the name, opens the browser, go straight to voicings. Let's try voicing 1. And then you can just keep flicking through. And you can just go straight into by mode and just audition the different voicings. Yeah, it's really useful. We've also, just to note, we've integrated everything into the settings menu here. So you no longer have to double click on the S logo. And that's partly because we're going to be expanding the platforms that Scalar 3 is available on iOS. So we've just put everything up here in the settings menu, and we can just come up here, click new session, reset to default size, or the settings menu. If I go to new session now, you get a nice warning anytime you create a new session or you go to load a preset. Are you sure? Do you want to save where you're at? Which makes it much safer to use than it was before. Okay, so in order to start showing you one of the new features that I love, I'm going to just pull up some chords. I'm going to go to uncommon progressions, and I'm going to come to this menu, select all, add to main track, which is also new. Makes it really easy to add things to the main track without dragging and selecting. Here I'm going to add an expression. Let's go performances, adagio and accento. And let's click into articulations and let's add a down-up arpeggiator. Everything's cycling within Logic, so I can just hit play now. Great. So now when I select anything, particularly the chords, Scalar's going to suggest that I create a scene. And you can see the pop-up here. As soon as I click it, what I've got is I've got a scene. So scenes are really flexible. They're really transparent and easy to use. You can shorten them, lengthen them, you can move them, you can duplicate them. You can change all the contents within, no problem, scene will stick. You can also just right click, you can rename a scene. I'm going to call this one, say, verse, and I may as well come over here, right click on the scene menu, and I'm going to rename this to chorus. So they're really cool. They're quite intuitive too, because you can drag one over. It's telling you what it's going to do. It's going to cut into that scene, so you've made that scene shorter. The undo redo features are really useful here, and it just enables you really to start arranging in a just much easier way. You can select multiple scenes and move them and copy them across. It's really flexible and makes it really easy to write long arrangements. I just want to focus on a couple of things. It's really nice because, let's say here in the chorus menu, I want to change the chords. So I'm going to come back to the main page. I'm going to go, let's go another uncommon progressions. Let's drag these chords from here and replace that second chorus. So everything adapts, which is really nice because now I can just extend my loop. The loop marker, the new loop markers are really nice too. They make it nice and easy to use. And one of the features you can actually do is you can right click on a scene and you can say set the loop area. So that makes it all nice and easy. Here we go. I'm going to loop this section here. And it's really nice because you can just do what you want. You can say, okay, cool, let's change the timing in the verse here to half time and quarter note arpeggio. really cool. Then you can just copy whatever section you want across, rename it. You can delete the scene. You can duplicate the scene. You can delete the scene, keep the content, or you can just delete the whole lot just by grabbing it, deleting scene and content. They're super flexible. One of the other things I really like about it is, just to make this very distinctive, is that you can actually bind each individual scene. So here we go. Now I've got the bind key on, and now I'm binding the first scene. And here are the second scene. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to quickly grab a bunch of chords and say, okay, actually, you can grab this now, you can right click and you can add to a new scene, and it's actually going to split the scene up. And that way you can come back into the browse page and you can actually just focus on that section. Scenes are really powerful, really easy to use, and just make arranging tracks much more fun and much more easy. We really hope you enjoy them. They're really, really cool. There are plenty more features to show you, so let's go through a few other really cool features and functions. So I'm going to grab a chord set here. I'm going to add it to the main track. I'm going to come across back to the arrange page, and I'm going to come back to the start, and I'm going to add, we've got some new tracks here. You'll notice Divisi and user tracks. These are really cool, really important. But Divisi, just as a first off, I can open up and send a Divisi track, create a Divisi track. So let's come to the Divisi track. I'm going to open up contact date. And I'm going to pull up a cello here. I'm going to go the Stradivari cello. And now within Scalar, if I just mute the main track, you can see that it's going to send only whichever voice I choose out of those chords. Really nice. Okay, and as you can guess, I'm going to open up another Divisi track. I'm actually going to copy that contact across. And I'm going to look for a viola. Let's grab the Amati viola. And I think you probably guessed it here. I'm going to come back into Scalar and I'm going to go to that new Divisi track. I'm going to click on the actual chord clip and I'm going to say, can we play the second voicing of that chord? So now I should have the cello on playing the first note of the chord and the viola playing the second note of the chord. Nice. Now, of course, I can keep going, and I'll talk a little bit more about the flexibility here, but I'm going to add a third and final Divisi track for now. I'm going to copy that contact across again. And this time, I might look for some woods. Let's go solo, and I'm going to pull up a clarinet. Okay, so if I come back to Scalar, I'll just collapse the keyboard view here, just to give us a little bit more room, pull this down, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to make this play the third note. So now we should have the three instruments playing three different notes. I'll just quickly add some effects. So I'll go a stereo room and copy that across. And now I should have a nice, authentic orchestral patch. Now, one of the other new features, of course, which we're going to need now is the ability to rename our tracks. No problem. This one was the cello. This one was the viola. This one was the clarinet. And you know what? I think the clarinet should come before the viola. And now you can just grab your tracks and drag them in any order you want. You can see them all updating in the menu. It's really, really cool. And of course, with this voicing setup, no problem. I can come back here and say, actually, let's go genres. Let's go cinematic. And I'm going to go epic, and I'm going to grab those first four chords and I'm going to drag them down. Now, if I come back to the arrange page, the first thing I notice straight away is that these chords are not playing within the voicing range of those instruments. And this is where our Divisi is really flexible, because not only can you change the voicing or the note, you can actually change the octave. So if I say, okay, cello, go up an octave, clarinet, go up 2 octaves, and viola, go up an octave, it keeps the actual note spread, but plays them in the right octaves. Yeah, the Divisi, the renaming tracks, the reordering tracks just makes it so powerful and so easy to really come up with some authentic voicing. I really love that feature combined with the new scenes feature. Here's another really powerful feature in Scalar 3.2. Now, when we're adding user tracks, we have the ability to record effectively what we hear or anything we want. So in this instance, I'm going to come to the user track. I'm going to load up the wonderful Rhodes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my scaler. I'm going to turn keys lock on, and I'm going to go chord notes. And of course, that's going to, as you know, transpose everything according to what I play into to match the notes of the chords, which is really, really cool. A wonderful keys lock feature. Because I'm on this channel now, it's armed, so I can actually hear that everything locked to the chords. Now, we've made this really flexible. There's a few ways to do this. You can just hit the record button, hit play, and you get a 1-bar count in. Great. So now you can see the notes recorded nicely there. One of the great things is it will, if you go into the MIDI editor, you can see that quantizing is automatically set to 1/16. But you can now change that post-recording. And not only that, I can say, okay, cool. As you know, this feature was already there. The depth, it's very accurate. I might just say, can you go halfway between where I played it and you played it, which makes it all very cool. And of course, you can change the quantizing. You could say, cool, give me a little bit of swing on it. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to point out too, is that it's really flexible because it can actually work with your DAW too. So you might be playing along in your DAW, and then you can just hit record and it starts recording live. And of course, you can record anything. So here I'm going to turn on bind for the main chords. I'm going to turn keys lock off, don't really need them. I'm going to go to voice grouping, and now I can trigger those chords. And of course, now I can just record that. And it's actually recorded the actual chords. So use a track in standalone mode, record what you hear. It's super flexible, and it just makes it so much fun to be able to record or just write your own notes in. We're going to expand this greatly in the forthcoming future to include some really wonderful additions that users have been after for a long time. Let's look at some other new really cool features. Okay, I think this one's going to excite our community for a number of reasons. It's been a heavily requested feature from our community, and we're really excited. I'm particularly excited. I know lots of our esteemed and famous artists are going to be really excited about that. External MIDI Out, not only from the standalone, but also from the plugin version, just changes so many things for so many users. Firstly, from the standalone that we're looking at now, I can directly access all my synths in this room. And the other thing is we can also use network drivers to route MIDI internally. We're going to take a look at that. But firstly, I'm going to come to genres, and let's go synthwave, shall we? That seems appropriate. I might pull up synthwave 4, and I might select all and add to the main track. And now here I am. I'm going to turn on the loop function, and I'm going to extend that loop across. And now I'm going to click in the 3-dot menu, and I'm going to select my MIDI output device. In this instance, I'm going to go to my prologue, which I know is on this MIDI output. So here we go. I'm going to hit play. And what we're hearing is we're hearing the internal sound and we're hearing the prologue as well. So prologue just being over there. So if I just mute it, now we've just got the prologue. That's really cool. And of course, I can do it multiple times to any MIDI channel, to any external MIDI network or internal MIDI bus within my Mac or PC. So, okay, let's go articulations. Let's open it up. Let's go up, down, repeat. I want to go to my Prophet 6. I'm going to mute it because I don't want to hear the piano. And I'm going to go to my Prophet 6, which lives on my Mode 2 channel 6. Okay, so now I'm go back to start. That should be playing on my Prophet 6. Cool, sounding a little bit slow for me. This is what I love about having everything on the MIDI. Just do it in real time, right? Yeah, change the time signature, change the tempo, do whatever you want. And of course, I can just keep going. I might actually just send those chords out to my Moog 1. I'm going to hit mute. And I'm going to send it out to the appropriate device. Now it's playing my Moog 1. Sounds like I might want a bass, right? So I'm going to hit articulations. I'm going to go bass follow. And I think my sub 37 down in the corner would love that. And that lives out there on MIDI output. Port 1. And of course, you know, you've got the flexibility because you've got the device. Now you can also choose the channel. So total flexibility. Back to the start. And now I've got everything coming out my synths and I can just run around, change presets, do what I want out there. It's so exciting to have external MIDI out in so many ways. I just love running my external synths all from the standalone, experimenting for hours on end. And I can also do some really cool tricks and circumvent some restrictions that certain DAWs place upon internal MIDI routing by using this feature. Let me show you exactly how. Here I've called up the Dreamy Synthwave preset and I'm assigning each Scalar 3 track to a separate DAW track from one Scalar instance, something that isn't previously possible in Ableton due to its lack of multi-channel internal MIDI routing. In this example, I'm using the native IAC MIDI bus in Mac OS, and in Windows there are several third-party virtual MIDI buses you can use too. So external MIDI routing gives us this complete flexibility, not only for external instruments, but internal instruments and internal MIDI routing across any DAW too. There's a bunch of new refinements and features in that I haven't covered today that you can see in the changelog, so I encourage you to go through it. Lots more to come in Scalar. We're really excited to get it into your hands. It's free for all Scalar 3 users. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy using Scalar 3.2.